Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita from Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
And we have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you. So let's get started.
Today we're going to talk about innovative ways to use a painter's drop cloth.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
There's a lot of ways to use that very sturdy, affordable, neutral fabric that you can get on the cheap. So we're going to walk you through that and tell you a little bit about why you might be using that kind of fabric around your house in projects and decor and things like that. Anita, you want to kick us off here? Tell us a way that you've used a painter's drop.
Well, I really love seeing them in curtains. And actually, this is a project that I had one time. I decided I was going to make curtains for my back porch at the farm because we have all this wind blowing through. So I got some of that metal conduit and bolted it up at the top of the roof of the porch. And I made the little rod pocket for the curtains. So I was so excited. And these, they tend to be heavy.
They are heavy.
Yeah.
And
so
we'll
they're
talk
heavy,
about that too.
Right. So they're heavyweight and they're about 9 feet. These were about 9 feet long. I was so excited. I hung the first one up, but we had so much wind there. It was completely horizontal.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
that must have been a strong wind.
I know. It was about a foot from, I just thought I can't use these because they're going to be whacking people in the head. So I wasn't able to use them on my porch, but I was so disappointed because I've seen so many and they're so beautiful. I've seen people use them inside and they've been used a lot on outdoor spaces. And
I did just
gorgeous.
that. I didn't know you tried that. I know you have a lot of wind. I don't have a lot of wind here in California. So I made the curtains. I was going to buy them and I had all the dog-eared pages in various catalogs and I was trying to get the best price on these outdoor
They're expensive
curtains, and they are expensive. And sometimes you just can't get the color you want. And I'm not, for my look, I'm not a huge fan of those big metal grommets that sometimes they use for those types of curtains,
Sure,
and so I didn't want that.
It doesn't go
look.
with everything. Right. That's not a farmhousey look.
No, it's not really a farmhouse look. So then I couldn't use those. So I thought, I'm going to just make these out of drop cloths. I've seen people make curtains. Why not use them out here? And as Anita said, they are heavyweight. Mine are terrific. And I actually got a narrower one. So mine were long, only 4 feet wide and long enough. And so they weren't hard to work with on the sewing machine because I just had the 4 feet. It's not like I had this trailing piece of fabric. And so I think I put 5 of them up and shirred them really nicely and they look fantastic.
Oh, I've
just
seen your
used
back porch. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I just used a metal pipe. And then, kind of like those metal hooks that you would use for a closet rod on either end. Super simple. I have to say, and I'm not an expert sewer. I'm good at a straight line, but I would say it took me maybe 40 minutes to make the pocket for all of them.
Wow.
Boom,
Right.
done.
Yeah.
So curtains, indoor and outdoor, is a great idea.
And there's so many ways that you can make curtains. You can just use the drop cloth as is and use, the round rings that go on your curtain rod with the little hooks on the end, the little clasps, and just hook them that
clips,
way.
The clips to clip on. Right. That's another way you can do
so
it.
easy peasy.
Well, and they come in so many different sizes too. So depending on whatever height you need or width, it's surprising just how many different sizes the drop cloths come in. But
okay,
also,
I've got to chime in on this, Anita. Do you mind? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I bleach drop cloths and you can do that, and they absolutely come out. They look a lot more like linen. They have a little nub to them when they're bleached. You can bleach them almost perfectly white, and I have directions how. I didn't want mine quite so white. They were like a very light bone color. And I'll put that in the show notes. But when I washed them and dried them, went to hang them up, like any fabric, they were different sizes.
Shrinkage.
Oh, each one was a different size?
Yes.
Oh, well, but see, this goes to the standard sewing point, and that is before you sew almost anything, you almost always wash it first, because after you wash it, things do shrink, and then each one is going to be a little different. So if you want them all to be the same length, you really do need to wash them first. Plus, again, they do shrink a lot. So if you're measuring sewing, then washing, you're going to be disappointed because they're going to be like high water, jeans.
Exactly. And they also at the bottom, they weren't even because I had some very wide ones and it was sewn down the center, which I sort of liked because it was just such a nice finished edge and I didn't have to do that myself. But
they were already sewn down. Well, I was going to say, if you need
very nice,
you need more fullness than the size of the drop cloth. Just use more than one. I wouldn't even sew them together. I would just push them together.
Well, this already was sewn because it was wide.
Right.
And I thought it, and all I was going to do was clip them, but the bottoms weren't even. So 3 of them work, but one absolutely doesn't. And I used all the same size. So I've got to get an even longer one. And but the bleaching, it was so worth it. They came out so beautifully.
Oh, nice.
And then I just have to hem the bottoms.
Well, another thing I've seen people do, and didn't you do this, Yvonne, where you do the pattern, a stenciled pattern on this drop cloths?
Well, it wasn't on a drop cloth. It was on Belgian linen, and that worked so well. But you could easily do it.
I've seen it done on the drop cloth. I think that's a great idea.
And they are beautiful. And if you wanted to keep it its natural color, I used a stencil and painted something white, used white paint. And I didn't do it totally opaque. I sort of did it. Some was opaque. Some was a little more see-through. Some wasn't quite painted all the way. So it looked like an old tapestry.
Oh, what a great idea.
And that really looked beautiful. But can you imagine?
And you did that on drop cloth or something
No,
else?
I did that on Belgian linen, but you could do the same thing. And actually I saved them and I was looking at them this last weekend and I thought, because I no longer use them, I'm going to make pillows out of these. These would be
you absolutely should.
Pillows.
Yeah.
And speaking of pillows, pillow drop cloths are amazing.
Yes. And I made one, and actually I did it for a charity around here. Somebody was having a benefit, and I almost couldn't give it to the woman when I went to drop it off at her house. It was so pretty.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I did the envelope back, and it was a large Euro size one. And I took that welting that we love.
Yes.
But it was not with the red, with the black stripes. And then I did a ruffle out of the drop cloth, because the drop cloth, once you cut it and shred it a little bit and you run it through the washing machine, it gets a really nice fray. So I was able to add that sort of the ruffle on either side of the welting. So I can put
was a frayed edge of a ruffle?
Yeah.
Oh, how pretty.
I'm going to put that in the show notes so you guys can see it. I mean, it's off and gone. Somebody bought it at a benefit, but I don't have it anymore.
Well, make another one for yourself, girlfriend.
I might have to make another one. Well, I know I didn't have.
I'm taking notes as we're talking.
I know. I've got so many projects in my head.
Let me just jump in about the sizing. I did not have the same issue that Yvonne did. Maybe one of yours was just a little bit of a dud or something, because I washed 5 of them.
Did you dry it in the dryer?
I dried them in the dryer, and I didn't go. I have a setting that's like more dry, extra dry. I just kind of did normal dry, and then I shook them out a little bit. But they were, if they were going to shrink, they would have done it already. So if they did shrink a little bit, it was uniform, because I didn't notice that one was markedly shorter than the other one. And why I bring this up is because what's really nice about the drop cloths is they already have a finished edge. And
they
so
do.
You don't have to make another edge if you don't want to. So you just have to do the pocket end if you're going to make a drape or a curtain out of it.
Or you don't even need to do that. Or you just use this as little clips. That was my idea. That's right.
I love that idea.
The other thing I want to say about the drop cloth is I collect all these antique homespun. I collect a lot of antique sheets. Now, some of them are very, very thin, and it almost looks like it's just a very thin, fine linen and very elegant looking, like from a very high-end hotel. But the old sheets are homespun linen. It's a much rougher linen. It's thick. It's rough. It's heavy. And the interesting thing was I was using an antique linen homespun sheet on my daybed at the farm. And I thought, boy, I really would hate for someone to, stain that because, it's a very nice antique piece. And so I thought, I wonder what it would look like if I just put a drop cloth over that. You could not tell the difference from the look of it.
What a great idea.
Just keep that in mind, especially if it's washed. It has the texture of, it looks an awful lot like homespun linen. So,
well, let me jump in here right now, and it's a good time to do the weight and the grade business. So we'll do our little, if you need to take notes, take your notebooks now. This might be on the test, is what I'm saying. Okay, so those kind of drop cloths used to be made of hemp, but they're not anymore, right? So that's probably where you're liking it to the older homespun linen. And I totally agree with you on that. So you will notice when you go to purchase a painter's grade drop cloth that it will say weight and grade. And it will say the kind of canvas. It could be plain or duck. D-U-C, like the
like quack,
right? So the threads in the duck are more tightly woven, and the word duck comes from the Dutch word for cloth, which is duck.
Okay,
I spoke Dutch, but you spell it D-O-E-K. Doek. I think. So anyway, now you know that, and you could be tested on that. That might be a bonus question. And then the drop cloths are classified in two ways: weight, that's ounces per square yard, and graded, and it's a number system. Now here is the tricky part: it's done in reverse order. So
this is way too much for me at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
I need my kind bar. Have a kind bar and relax.
That's true.
So 10 is lighter weight than a 4. Right. So you might think it's the reverse. So if you want to make.
So it's like the thread count almost.
Yeah. So if you want to make something where you want it to be a little softer, go for the higher grade. Go for a 10.
Okay.
If you want to have curtains that are going to hold up to Anita's windstorm, go for a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4. That's going to be heavier.
Kelly, this is such good information.
Well, and you were going to go take a powder while I was telling you that.
No, it's just a lot of information, but very good.
Okay. So anyway, that's the only part that you might be tested on. The rest of it, we could just talk about great projects.
I do want to talk about my favorite way, my favorite slip cover, my favorite painter's drop cloth project was a slip cover I made for a bench in my dining room. And it was so easy to make. I just sort of did it upside, inside out and turned it over, and it was perfect. So I'll put that on the show notes because it makes a really lovely cover, like a slip cover. And I'm sure also to upholster like chairs or something like that. It would be perfect.
Oh yeah. We actually had a daybed down at our deck by the creek. And I decided I didn't really want to use linen down there, which is my favorite fabric to work with. So I actually made a cover for the daybed and pillows out of now we can't leave it down. There's too many things that I don't even want to go there. Too many critters that might be living in it. But I mean, I made everything, pillows and then a cover for the daybed. And it's great to use. So
it's a brilliant
for
fabric.
sewing.
It is.
I would love
so
to
economical.
know. Yeah, I would love to know who was the first person to be standing in the hardware store aisle looking at these drop cloths and had that aha moment when they had the stroke of genius to use it for something other than it was intended.
I think I know how that came about because before I knew about drop cloth, I have this huge round table at my farm and I couldn't find a nice cloth, cream colored or really oatmeal colored tablecloth to go on it. So I decided I was going to make one. And, round tablecloths are not that easy to come by, especially when it's a large table. I think it's about a 52-inch round. So obviously, I needed something longer than that, maybe 70 inches. So I decided to make one. And I'm going to tell you, first off, it's a lot of work. But second, Well, I mean, not a lot of work, but it took me a little bit of time to put it
round
together.
that's beyond my
Well,
pay
right,
grade in the
because you have
sewing
to do the
department.
string. It's not, it's a little more complicated to do something round. And after all that, I realized I spent about $40 on fabric. And after I looked at it and went, duh, I could have used drop cloth. I think I could have probably made it for less than $20.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
really a cost benefit. It is so much fabric for such a cheap price. If you're going to make something with that type of fabric, it is so much cheaper than going to the fabric store.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
Well,
totally agreed. Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you what I'm going to do with some of my bleached drop cloths?
Well, tell me, because I have, I was going to make those curtains for the porch. So I still have stacks and stacks of these drop cloths that I wasn't able to use.
I'm saving one as a tablecloth, which is perfect because it has a good weight to it. So I'm going to use it as an outdoor tablecloth for my long table.
Well, I've used that. I've used it for that. When I had the long table in the field, I had all these tables lined up.
That's right. That's right.
I did several, drop cloths.
But I'm also going to make a couple table runners.
Yeah, that's a great idea too.
I have these really cool block stencils from Heritage Lace.
Oh, yes.
Wouldn't that be
perfect?
Yes. And I'm going to use
color?
them. I'm going to do them. I really want to do it like tone on tone. So I'll either go a little darker or a little lighter, like pure white on like a bone color. And then I'm just going to use them as a border.
Oh, yeah. That would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. And I love to use them as a topper, especially if you have some of those tables that are kind of the cardboardy or the the particle board table that you normally would put a
Mm-hmm.
tablecloth and a big skirt on. And sometimes you just want to have something to go on top. So, just layering it or to cut back on the amount of pattern in the fabric you might be using underneath. It's a great way to do it. And you can just cut it. And if you like the frayed look, you could just leave it like that. So easy after your wash.
Well, I think if you wanted a very simple, minimalistic look, wouldn't it be great to use a drop cloth or maybe two, you might need two, to cover the foundation of your mattress and then use one to cover the mattress of a bed?
That is such a good idea.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Well, wait. It's
Wait
a
a minute.
little early. Yes,
Did
but
I
you do get tip of the day.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I've ever gotten tip of the day.
Yvonne is going to withhold that, but I am so
Well, I have a really good one too.
Oh.
I've got about four
Well,
really
you've
good
gotten
ones.
tip of the day a bunch of times, Siobhan.
I didn't realize
I'm
we were
the tip
keeping
girl.
track.
Well, I think
because
that
you've
is
had a lot.
I'm going to have to go re-listen and see all the times I
I think
got
that is so brilliant. Yes, Anita.
Congratulations, Anita.
Yes,
I'm so excited.
Tip of the day. But you could cover your mattress, but you could also do a bed skirt.
Yes.
Yes, you
And
could.
you know what? If you get a couple of them, maybe you wouldn't have to hem the bottom.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? And let me give you a little.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah. Let me give you just a little secret. If you have a bed that is that has those like wooden sides on them, around like the
I
base.
do. I have that.
Yes.
What I did is I made a bed skirt and I put a tension rod under all of like.
Oh,
in between,
yes, you told us.
Yes, between
What
the
a great
headboard and the
idea.
footboard and between on the sides of the footboard. And it was so easy because you didn't have to take the mattress off when you wanted to clean it.
Oh,
So,
great idea.
Wash it. So you could make a bed skirt
wait a
out
minute.
of that.
Wait a minute. You clean your bed skirts?
Will you wash your bed skirt? You do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
My mother.
There's
my
something to do this afternoon, Anita.
Yeah, I guess I've got something on my list today.
I come by it honestly. My mother has she's always like washing a bed skirt and ironing it. And, she's just like my model for that. The other thing you can do, and I've seen this on Pinterest, I am dying to try this. You could make an upholstered tufted headboard.
Oh, yeah. You know who did that?
Who did?
Ursula at Carmona. Handmade by
Oh.
You can, and I saw the
It's
easy way to
beautiful.
tuft them because you just cut out a piece of plywood and make holes in the back, and then you pat it and cover it, and then you've got to find the hole. I saw one today where they just patted it, marked where they needed to make the hole on the drop cloth on the fabric they used to cover, and then just drilled right through it,
Oh,
Wow.
which was easier.
Isn't that
Think
clever?
about
That's
that.
very smart.
Yeah, instead of going from the back and trying to find, where you're going to put your tufted buttons. And I've also seen it just padded, and then you use a nail head trim.
Oh, that would be
Yes,
gorgeous
That would
too.
be nice.
Yeah, isn't that a
Great
great
idea.
idea?
Yeah. Okay. Let's
we
slide
know
back
some
into
talented people.
Yeah, very talented. Let's slide back into the easier beginner department. How about a
Okay.
shower curtain? It's just like
yeah.
a regular curtain. You use it in your shower.
Put it in your shower. That's exactly
it's,
right.
Yeah, and you don't, if you wash it a bunch of times and you're like, maybe time to toss it, make a new one. How much are you spending? Because nice shower curtains can be pretty expensive.
And I'm
yeah.
just gonna
And bad
embellish
shower curtains
that.
are so bad.
Oh,
bad
they
shower
are.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
So
going to
bad.
embellish that idea. Then why don't you stencil a monogram on it? You know how you see these really expensive ones?
Oh, she is
that have a
gunning for your tip of the
monogram?
day.
I know.
It's for you.
Okay, it's over. The podcast episode today is over.
I have another quickie. I mean, I'm so into this. Why don't you make an apron?
I love
That's
it.
what I'm going to. I know. Isn't
And
that a great
stencil it
idea?
and put a monogram on it.
Definitely put a monogram on it.
Right.
But I have a cute little pattern for that, and I'm going to try that because I've got obviously.
I just dropped my pen. I'm so excited. I write this down. Apron. Okay.
4 huge drop cloths that are bleached and they're thick enough that they won't, like anything you splatter probably won't go through.
Okay. I have something to tell you. This is really not a tip. This is a product that I know is out in the universe. How about one that's colored black?
Like to dye one.
No, it's already comes black.
Wait a minute. A black drop cloth?
Wait. A drop cloth?
Yes.
Where? Whoa. What is this?
It's on that secret, hard to find store called Amazon.
Where on earth was I?
Where my book is also sold. Plug.
Great book.
Great book. While you're buying my book, you could slip over to this link I'll give you.
You mean the one that says a soulful home, a year in flowers?
That one.
Yes. And don't forget
the one that's sold out already, and
it's
they
sold
needed
out
more
on Amazon. That little shop, and now
well, you can also get the French accents by Anita.
That's true on there. I feel like such a slug right now. I don't have a book. Okay,
but you have a lot of good ideas. Let's get back to what I said. My little tidbit. Yes,
I'm taking notes. I'm telling you.
Okay, now, disclaimer: I have not ordered this in preparation for this podcast. I said, let me look if there are any other colors. Sure, there's a lot of tutorials about dyeing them, but you know what, gang? Let me just tell you a little confession. I'm not going to make a tufted headboard, nor am I going to dye my drop cloth. Because dyeing my drop cloth, I'll do bleaching. I love Yvonne's idea. But dyeing my black, it kind of takes the fun out of the ease of the drop cloth with the dye.
Exactly.
Right?
But
like,
I think I'm going to try that tufted
Go buy
headboard.
some canvas duck at Joann's in the color you want, gang. But unless you have a big giant pot and a cauldron and you're going to dye your drop cloth. Okay, so this one is... It reads like it's a black drop cloth, but here's the thing. They're calling it a drop cloth for chimney sweeps. So,
okay.
Who just visualized like Dick Van Dyke? Chimney.
No, I visualized black plastic.
No. It's canvas.
Oh, I may just have to. Could you imagine making a gorgeous like handbag out of that, or a tote?
Totes now. Okay, and it comes 6
with
by
a monogram.
9. 6 by 9.
Of course, with the monogram.
With a monogram. Yeah.
Oh, and here I've got it. Let me just throw this in here because we're talking about it, because you could do it on black and do it reverse.
Oh, yeah.
What about making a rug? But listen to this. I saw one that it was a faux hide.
Oh, wow.
Now,
wait a minute.
This would be
what is a faux hide?
Faux hide. So
made out of drop cloth?
You take a drop cloth, and it would be so easy to cut out like a shape of a hide. It's, sort of abstract. And then just take paint and paint those stripes and things. I thought, what
you mean, like stripes,
idea.
like a zebra,
like a zebra,
like a puma,
like whatever
pumas have
like.
Stripes, like a cheetah. Dog.
There you go. I mean, that would get a little work intensive, I think, but I would paint.
That's a cute
stripes.
idea.
No,
and
that's more fun than dyeing it. That's much more
And
fun
I would just
dyeing.
sew the edges and let it fray.
And that's how it looked. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And let me just circle back. So I can ask you the question. I'll see who gets it right. If you were going to use it as a rug and you wanted a heavyweight drop cloth, would you purchase one that was a 10
A 1.
or one that was a 4?
4.
A 1.
4. You have to answer
Did
the
you say
question
4?
properly, Anita.
There were only 2 choices,
or we're going to take away your tip for the day.
Yvonne got it right in the choices 4, right? The lower number is the higher weight.
Anita,
but
you
Anita,
have to take notes.
I'm going to give you half credit because you were going in the right direction.
Yeah. You were going in the right direction.
Yeah. And one would be good.
Listen, I want to get a few of these in before we run out of time.
Okay. All right.
I saw also on Pinterest, because Pinterest has all things, 2 versions of a child's teepee.
Oh.
So if you have kiddos in your house or kiddos that you love, I thought, what a fabulous thing to make.
So
it
fun.
Looked so easy. It really looked easy.
I'm going to make one for Emmett. He'd like it.
Or a dog that likes to pretend he's a little Indian. Here's another one. What about a tree skirt?
Oh, yeah. And you could just wrap that sucker around the bottom of your tree like I did those ballard curtains.
Just do it. That's my favorite way to do it.
Wrap it.
Like I swaddle it around. That's
then you don't have to hem the edges or anything.
Or I made a tree skirt out of a drop cloth. I mean, this was years ago, and stenciled white over it. And then I put a white faux fur trim around the bottom.
Go ahead. Clean out your closet. Then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health: potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Oh, Mrs. Claus, that is fabulous. I mean, really.
Oh, wow.
Faux trim of the fur. I love it. Okay, I have 2.
Okay.
I saw a hammock. And now, again, I think the only thing that would hold me back from this one is having the 2 trees close enough, because it was 2 1x2s, it looked like, just pieces of wood. Mm-hmm. They drilled a hole in either end for the rope. And then same thing as a curtain, but you're making the rod pocket or the wood pocket on either end. And it was stenciled. It said something like "relax" on it. It was absolutely adorable.
That's a very easy, cool idea.
Well, it's very creative.
Cool idea. Mm-hmm. And then I have one more. Mm-hmm. And this is a friend of ours. It's from Christy at Confessions of a Serial DIYer.
Oh,
Christy,
I just love. Hi, Christy.
Oh,
she's
my
so
goodness.
dear.
She's such a lovely person. But boy, does she, I mean, I've said I have some orphan furniture. She has an orphanage. Okay. It's just crazy. And all of her befores, you're like, what a sad little piece of furniture. And then it's beautiful. So she had this sad little stool and covered it with the drop cloth, did one of those pretty Parisian stencil-y things in the center. And then she made these little drop cloth rosettes and went around the edges of the drop cloth. Okay, I would never let anyone sit on that thing, but I mean, but I would. After that, I would not let anyone sit on it.
No,
it would be a show stool.
Can you put that in the show notes?
Yeah, I already copied the URL.
Okay,
so okay.
Well, that's a beautiful idea. And those little rosettes, it would be hard to describe how to make them, but they are so easy to make. Here's another thing. If you make banners or garlands, you can just make a template and cut out pieces of drop cloth and make it with a drop cloth.
Yeah.
Oh, great idea.
Also, do you know that you can actually put your drop cloth through the printer and make a picture or writing on drop cloths?
Well, you've worked so hard. I'm going to have to share my tip of the day with you, Yvonne. I think you've earned it.
Now look how giving you are. That's just like you, Anita. I just happen to be crazy about using drop cloths.
Well, and it shows.
Oh,
It does.
Are you making fun of me in a very
No, I am
obscure
not.
way?
No.
Now I have to go to the
Okay.
scoreboard and give each of you a half. I don't know.
Oh, no. Anita gets it. Hers was definitely the
No.
best idea.
You must have tip of the day. No. You must have tip of the day.
You too. Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
just make an outdoor flag with a monogram,
Oh my
Stop
a
it.
coaster, a lampshade, or a canopy.
Oh,
Okay.
of course.
Yep. Those are the ones
Okay, I'm
I
looking
have
at my watch now.
Wow.
I just had to get them in. I just think
Okay,
there's so
okay.
many.
I have one. You
cool
can make a
things.
summer house out of and you just put it on the beach and shake the sand off.
How about a yurt? You could probably make a yurt.
All right, you two. Okay. All right, this is it. Oh my goodness. It's
Okay.
been fun. I
Who
think it's
knew
been
drop cloths could be this much fun? Oh my goodness.
I need to go lie down.
Yeah, exactly. I can't
So-
say, you dropped a bomb on me. It's just been playing in the back of my head. Okay. Go ahead, Anita. Tell them we need to leave now.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I know we had a blast, so I hope you did too. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us.